What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another video on the Heat Report. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that hasn't really been getting the amount of attention that I think it deserves. And that is the guard dilemma that Erik Spoelstra and the Miami Heat have, not only for this season, but for years going forward. Make sure y'all leave a like and subscribe and comment down below what you guys think about this video and what you guys think about the guard situation that we do have. Now let's get right into it. Obviously, the Miami Heat, coming off of a win against the Houston Rockets, had a big production from Kendrick Nunn last night. Kendrick Nunn is a prime example of staying ready. He's a guy who, whenever his number is called, he consistently delivers. So we have to give Kendrick Nunn a lot of credit for what he's been doing for us when his number has been called. Now, Kendrick Nunn is not the only guard on this team that's going to be fighting for minutes. Duncan Robinson just broke the franchise record again, 200 threes. I don't think it was a franchise record. I think he broke a single season record. Correct, yes. Fastest to 200 threes. You know, he did this last year as well. He's in the top 5 of players who have had 203 plus seasons in the Miami Heat uniform. He is on there twice in the top 5, along with, I think, Wayne Ellington, Tim Hardaway, and someone else. No disrespect if I forgot who the fourth guy was, but no disrespect to him, but obviously in great company there. And Goran Dragic, who also played last night, looked really good as well. Now, two guards who didn't play last night, Tyler Herro and Victor Oladipo, are also going to be wanting minutes come playoff time and in the last stretch of this regular season. Now, it is still uncertain whether Victor Oladipo will be back in the regular season, but a lot of people are very confident that he'll be back for the playoff time, and I have no doubt in my mind that when he is back eventually, he will be starting on the Miami Heat. Now, what do I think the starting lineup will look like when Oladipo comes back is what the starting lineup was when he first got here. Oladipo, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Trevor Ariza, and Bam Adebayo will probably be the starting lineup once Victor Oladipo comes back. Now, off the bench, you have 3 other guards who you probably cannot all play at the same time. Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Herro, and Goran Dragic are going to all want minutes, and for good reason. Tyler Herro last year and spurts in this year showed what his potential could be and why he should be trusted to take the big shots late game sometimes and to provide a lot of closing minutes. He is, I think, in the playoffs, he played more crunch time minutes than anyone else on our team. So Tyler Herro is going to want those minutes. Goran Dragic, another veteran who's been very consistent for us over the years. Last playoffs, he was very good, and after a slow start this year, he seems to be picking up the pace. And then Kendrick Nunn, who last year was an all-rookie, he was on all-rookie first-team runner-up for Rookie of the Year, and this year he's proven that it was not a fluke last year for what he did. And he's been on a tear recently in these last couple games. Now, this is not a dilemma that needs to be addressed just for now and just for the playoffs or just for these last few games that we have in the regular season. It's also a dilemma for the future. Tyler Herro, out of all these 5 guards, is the only one who is under contract after this season. Duncan Robinson and Kendrick Nunn are both restricted free agents. Goran Dragic is an unrestricted free agent who's on a team option for $17 million. And Victor Oladipo is also another unrestricted free agent. Now, Tyler Herro, I've seen a lot of Heat fans hate on Tyler Herro, and I don't really know why. Like, if you don't want him here, if you want him to be traded, then, you know, you got to support him, because if he plays well, either number 1, his trade value is going to increase, or number 2, he's going to be, you know, with us long term because he's playing well. So either way, when he's playing well, it's a win-win situation for any Heat fan, whether it's a Heat fan that wants Tyler Herro to be traded for a star, or whether it's a Heat fan that wants Tyler Herro to be on this team long term. So the hate on Tyler Herro needs to stop. I don't really understand it, especially from Heat fans. Like, other NBA fans, I couldn't really care less about, but from Heat fans, if you're a Heat fan and you're hating on Tyler Herro or anyone on the Heat, for that matter, then you're not a real fan in my eyes. So the hate on Tyler Herro has to stop. The respect on Kendrick Nunn needs to be shown, though. Like I said last night, had 30 points. And Goran Dragic is a guy that is no slouch either. So I do think that Duncan Robinson is a very integral part of this team. After Tyler Hero, I would probably look to be securing Duncan Robinson and Victor Oladipo's contracts long term. Duncan Robinson's shooting is just way too valuable for us to miss out on. He's one of the unsung heroes of this team. You can just look at the offensive rating when he's on the floor compared to when he's not on the floor. So Duncan Robinson should be, one of the priorities in free agency, along with Victor Oladipo, because Victor Oladipo is a guy that we traded for with the intentions to keep him going forward. We just didn't trade Victor Oladipo for half a season. The only thing about Victor Oladipo that scares me is his health, and I think it scares a lot of other fans as well. But even when he's not, at his fully explosive self, he's still one of the best defenders on this team. So Victor Oladipo is a guy that I believe would probably be willing to take a small amount of a pay cut in order to stay for a team that he's wanted to be in for so long, which leaves Goran Dragic and Kendrick Nunn as the other two guards that would need some solving, as far as the money dilemma. Now Kendrick Nunn, there are pros and cons to both of these players to have them long term. In my mind, you cannot have all five of them going forward, because you're not going to be able to guarantee the minutes. I'm going to talk about the future right now, and then I'm going to move on to what we should do this season. But Kendrick Nunn, like I said, there's pros and cons to keeping Kendrick Nunn. The pros is that he's very consistent when his number's been called. He's already one that has been not played at stretches, and then when he's been given the minutes, he's always ready to contribute, which is a very good sign of a guy who's I think John Crotty said it on the commentary last night. He said he was unflappable. I think that's a very good word to describe Kendrick Nunn. He does he doesn't waver from being taken out of the starting lineup or being taken out of the rotation. He consistently stays ready. That's the type of player that a lot of teams would like, and that's the type of player that teams any team could use. A guy that's going to stay ready no matter what the situation is. Now the cons with Kendrick Nunn is that he's already, I think, 25 or 26 if I'm not mistaken, so I don't really see how much better he's going to be getting. If he stays the same player that he is right now, though, that doesn't mean he's a bad player, but the potential for Kendrick Nunn is not as high as Tyler Hero's potential. Even if Kendrick Nunn is playing better right now, I think going forward, Tyler Hero is more valuable to the Heat and any team because he's only 21 years old. So that is the cons for Kendrick Nunn, and he is restricted, so if a team throws him a bag, we might have to match it, and I don't want to do the same thing that we did with Tyler Johnson, where the Brooklyn Nets threw him $50 million and we automatically matched it just for him to be gone later. Goran Dragic is another interesting piece as well. From this, from if you're looking at it from like the sentiment standpoint, Goran Dragic is a guy that you can't hate Goran Dragic, man. He's a guy that's him and UD have been here since the post LeBron days. I remember that series against the Raptors where he was playing with while he was bleeding at the same time, which he's a warrior. That's what he is. And he is a guy that, when he's like on form and when he's not, rusty, he can be a very good asset to use. He's a very good guy around the locker room. He's very close with Jimmy. A lot of these things. The only con, the two cons that I have with Goran Dragic is number one, he's on a massive deal, which for $17 million as a team option. If we can restructure that and get him on a cheap deal, because we already gave him an excessive amount of money for this year, which I think we're probably going to be doing, then I would not have a problem with him staying on this team. But then a second one is that his age. He's already 34, and there's going to be a time where he starts to decline. And I hope, a lot of fans are saying this might be the start of it after the slumps at the beginning of the season, but I hope that this is not the start of his decline. We're going to have to see how he performs in the playoffs, because if he's not showing the same amount of, confidence, then I'm not really sure. So Goran Dragic is a guy that, maybe we could keep, or maybe we could let go. Same with Kendrick Nunn in the future. But as far as right now, I'm going to get to, what we should do this season and what I think will happen this season. Obviously Tyler Hero last night was out due, and I'm pretty sure it was due to rest. I don't think he had like an actual injury per se, but maybe I'm completely mistaken because he was upgraded to questionable, and then later was taken out. So I'm pretty sure him, Bam, and Jimmy were all resting because it was against the Rockets. No disrespect, but they are the worst, one of the worst teams in the NBA. But Kendrick Nunn, you know, really stepped up. But the unfortunate thing is that I don't think Kendrick Nunn is going to be called on going forward. I really don't. I think when Oladipo comes back, you're going to see Kendrick Nunn falling out of the rotation. I think the reason for this is that Kendrick Nunn, Spo knows that if he takes out Kendrick Nunn, he doesn't have to worry about his confidence falling because he knows he's going to stay ready. So I think he's going to be the victim of this. I don't want it to happen. I really like K-Nunn. I like all of these guards, but unfortunately, one of them is probably going to have to, you know, get significantly less minutes when Oladipo comes back. So it's probably going to be K-Nunn. Tyler's going to get the minutes for sure. I do think that no matter, you know, what he does, Spo's going to trust Tyler because he's trusted him for so long, especially in the playoffs last year, and Goran's going to be trusted as well. What I would do is I would see, you know, between the three of them, who is on and who is off, you know, play two of them, and if one of them is off, insert the third one, and then see how it works, mix and match the rotations, because I think that would really be useful. I think Oladipo and Duncan are going to start, so we don't have to worry about them. But with the other three, Goran, Tyler, and Kendrick Nunn, play two of them, and if one of them is not playing well, put the third one in and see how it works. That's what I would do. But this is a dilemma that really needs to be solved going forward and right now, and hopefully the Heat get it done, because this is something that's not really been talked about, is the abundance of guards on this team. Hopefully y'all enjoy this video, man. That's probably going to be it for me. I'll see y'all later as always. Hopefully you beat the Spurs tomorrow. Peace. One last thing before the video finishes out. I'm starting a new segment called Questions of the Day, where you guys can give me your questions in the comments about the Heat and anything about the Heat, and I'll try to answer all of them in the next episode or in the next video. So make sure y'all get your questions down in the comments section. This is a new segment. I wanted to see how it goes, and if it goes well, I'm gonna consistently do it. So shout out to y'all as always, man. Peace.